diving. Hope comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Hey everyone, good morning. I already did the daily reflection. This isn't the daily reflection, but you are more than welcome to sit and listen, be a part of, comment, do what you like. If you're here, please let me know that you're here. Say hello. Hit those likes and the emoticons. Those things do matter, and YouTube takes a look at them. So does Facebook. So it's all about popularity, and I'm not very good at that. So I'm going to kind of get right to this. It's just that my grandma's letter has been on my mind a lot lately, and that has a lot to do with my bottom. Okay? And my bottom lasted for a while. So you guys probably remember last week, my wife and I, we celebrated 9 years of marriage together. The longest relationship I have ever had in my life. Thank you, God. I was the only person drunk at my wedding, and it was at my mother's house. And if you know anything about my life, that's a huge no-no in and of itself. Okay? And that's where this started. My grandma saw me there. And my grandma and I have always been very, very close. If there was something wrong with her, I'd know and I'd call her. I mean, it's how we worked. Even last week, I was having a hard time. It was a few weeks ago, actually. And it turned out that it was my mother's grandma's birthday. So that kind of sets it up. I'm sorry, guys. Thank you, mute button. All right. So that kind of gives you a little bit. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Mr. Livingston. Some of these are not popping up, just so you guys know, it's not popping up on my StreamYard. Facebook. So anyway, let's get to it. Yeah, if you write something that's not popping up, it's only on some. It's okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and read the letter. A couple months after my wedding, I got this letter from my grandma, and it is postmarked 2012. Okay. I did not get sober until 2016. Actually, I would have very many attempts and failures in there. At one point, I got in a year, I relapsed. I had 9 months. I had 6 months. I had a bunch of them. I quit writing down my sobriety date. I stopped, and I didn't memorize this sobriety date until I was 2 years sober. And my wife had to memorize it for me. But let's get to the letter. It is a handwritten letter, okay, in cursive. So, 90% you can't read it. Cursive's not that hard, man. All right. Dear Dion, I'm writing to you because I can express better on paper than I can orally. You're going to think I'm an interfering old lady, but I'm your grandmother, and I love you, and I care about what happens to you. So that gives me the right. And it does. I believe that. It did give her the right. Dion, will you please check yourself into a rehab center? Sorry. And get the help you so desperately need to kick this addiction you have. I'm not going to be around on this earth too much longer. And my dying wish, sometimes this makes me cry, it takes me a little bit, is my dying wish to see you sober and living a happy and fruitful life with your wife and children. Well, that's all I'm going to say. So the rest is up to you. I love you, Grandma. When she passed, I was sober. I did it. I made it. This is the letter that got me started on my journey back. Things that God had already set me up. Because, see, before this happened, I had decided that 10 years ago, I decided that I was going to move out to California and drink myself to death. That was the plan. I was going to be everybody's going to cry at my funeral, all that good sappy stuff, right? I decided that isn't what I wanted anymore. See, the hard part about rock bottom and reaching it is the fear and everything that goes with it. And it's tough, man. See, part of my problem was I always knew I had a problem. I've been attending AA since I was 15 years old, guys. And I knew what sobriety felt and looked like. I was 12 years sober, and I used to do a lot of service work. I've accepted awards from the governor 2 years in a row. I've spoken on the White House steps. I've been a CAC. I've worked in detox. I've done lots and lots and lots of things. Wrote a book. You ever hear of live action role playing? I literally wrote the book on that. So you can see there are things in my life that I've done, but I was never really proud of those. And it was this that made me realize that I didn't love myself. It made me realize I was killing my family. I was killing. And that it was my job to break the generational cycle. My mom and my grandma and everybody I've always known has always said, Dion, you're going to do big things. You're going to be great things. And I've always had this expectation and I don't want it. All right. So I spent the next 4 years fighting. 2 of those years I would spend going in and out of detox 22 times. When it did finally hit, a man came up to me and he said, Dion, I've been watching you come in and out of this room for the last few years. And I'm going to stop it now because I am going to introduce you to God. And that was my start back. And it stuck that time. That was the time that it stuck. Somebody needed to come up to me and say, Dion, what you're doing is wrong. You can't do it anymore. See, I love the hell out of my wife and my children. And I love my wife. I'm a Virgo. And when somebody commits to me and has my heart, it's for life, man. That's why I have very few friends. But here was my problem. I had a fear. I had a fear that God didn't want me back. That because I knew for a fact that I was hurting other people. I knew it, and I still continued doing it. I didn't have the excuse of I didn't know, because I did. And that's why we say there's nothing worse than a head full of AA and a belly full of booze. Red Bulls, yeah. Red Bulls and Jaeger. Ugh. So when I came into the room, I was on the first step for the first couple of months because I couldn't comprehend. I didn't understand. I knew one thing. I don't know. And I followed the explicit direction of my sponsor. Okay? If my wife said it was time to do something, that's what I did. I didn't leave the house with more than $1. Well, no, I was given $2 so I could get a cup of coffee. Right? have $1 for the basket. I didn't trust myself. I knew I would have to place boundaries that were just very uncomfortable. Okay? I was yellow. I didn't look like this. I was bloated. Right? I looked like I was over 200 pounds, but I wasn't. I was just bloated. Never ate. I didn't shower. Didn't shave. I was disgusting. Didn't take my meds. Didn't eat. And so for the first few months, I had to learn how to talk. And that is actually the 4th time in my life I've had to learn how to re-talk. Believe it or not. It was the first time I learned how to talk. Second time was when I had to go through speech therapy. Third time, I had a dentist accidentally numb half my tongue for like a year and a half. So I had to learn how to speak with a numb tongue. And then when I got sober for the second time, I'd walk and I'd swerve. I looked drunk and I had no alcohol in me because my body was so used to the alcohol being in my body. I didn't know how to walk sober. I hadn't done it in 15 years. Okay. This close. I don't know how many times I woke up to chalk being shoved down my throat and all the crap. See, you guys know it. And think of this, right? You can pick on me, but don't pick on my wife, right? Well, don't I need to follow that same rule? I do everything that I've become a coda when it comes to my wife because I felt like I hurt her so much that there's no more. Never again. Never, ever, ever, ever again will I do that to her or my family or most importantly, me. See, now it's different. Now, I didn't cry because it hurt. I cried because I did it. Because I made it. All right. I should probably go set up for the noon meeting. I love you guys. I do. I love you guys. Peace out. And have a day. Thank you, Chris. Let's end it with this. We're gonna end it with some Chris Hill verbiage. Thank God for what he has done for us. Peace out. Love you.